Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I've kind of done a couple podcasts in the past, but I've never really stuck through it and done one with a camera where you guys can see me. It's gonna be completely long form, no edits. I normally edit all my videos, and even if it's just simple basic cuts, wow. So I can't edit that out. It's gonna be completely raw. That's what she said, but I'm excited. We got a couple things to talk about. I'm gonna be putting a timestamp on the side here, or on the screen here actually, with kind of what I'm going to be talking about. Going to be going over, the Lions, upcoming football finally starting back up, being excited, Joe Burrow's contract, and a couple other things. So here you are. Here's a timestamp. So if you want, you can pause the video. You can skip to what you want to watch, what you want to hear, or what you want to. Wow, I really can't cut this. This is crazy. This is different, but yeah, to hear what I have to say. Yeah, without further ado, I guess let's get right into it. So first things first is Thursday night football, the Lions and the Chiefs. I thought it was a great game, honestly. Side note, the Lions uniforms. Oh my God, I thought they were beautiful. The white on white on white. Man, Jared Goff was even looking drippy. But that aside, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a sloppy game, but it was still very entertaining. A couple of things I want to talk about is, first I'm going to talk about the Chiefs, outline a couple of things that they did good offensively and defensively and what they could improve and kind of how the game went down. So first things first, it's no secret that Travis Kelce suffered a knee hyperextension early in the week in practice. So he was out, and then you have Chris Jones, who's holding out for a contract. So he was also out. So that definitely played a huge part in not only Kansas City defensively, but offensively. When you have Travis Kelce, who is your number one, that can just create play after play and draw 1 to 2 guys away from other defenders and kind of occupy one side of the field, it's just so crucial. And then Chris Jones being just the absolute force that he is on that defensive line. So you could tell, in my opinion, you couldn't really tell too much defensively that they were missing Chris Jones. I thought the Chiefs still did a decent job at getting some pressure in there. I'm not sure if they sacked Jared Goff. It might have been once or twice. Let me look right here. He was sacked once. So it wasn't too much of a difference, but you would have liked to see Chris Jones there. But with Travis Kelce, man, you could really tell they needed him. Kadarius Toney with 4 dropped passes, one of them of which turned into a pick 6 for Detroit. Now, we really need to, I'm not going to talk about this too much, but we really need to talk about and advocate for interceptions to be put on receivers and not on quarterbacks like that, because that one was not on Patrick Mahomes. But anyways, the Detroit Lions offense only scored 14 points due to Kadarius Toney dropping passes. He had one of the passes I'll throw here on screen for you guys to see was not, I want to say it wasn't his fault. They were crossing across the middle, and when the ball was thrown, the other receiver ran right in front of him. So KT couldn't really see where the ball was going, and it was thrown low. So I'm not going to blame that one on him. I'm really not. But from Mahomes' view, you could see it. It was a tough catch, but everyone's going to have their bad games. People have their bad games. Brady has their bad games. Joe Montana has their bad games. Manning, Gronk, you just had bad games. And it was just one of KT's bad games. It wasn't good. 4 drops, especially one that led to 7 points for the Lions. One late in the 4th quarter, 1st and 10, right when the Chiefs got the ball, when the Lions for some reason decided to go for it on their own. Or no, not on their own, but it was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and Dan Campbell went for it on 4th and 2 instead of calling a timeout and either punting it or getting the right play. But yeah, so right after that, KT dropped the pass. Wow, I really can't edit that out. This is so raw. But yeah, KT drops that one. It's pretty crucial. It would have picked up 30 yards and they would have been in field goal territory. But that's all right. I think they should have gotten Sky Moore a little more incorporated. And there was another receiver. I believe he was number 4 for the Chiefs. I believe he's a rookie, and he caught 1 or 2 passes. But I think they should have gotten him the ball. I don't know. I don't know who it was. Wait, was it Justin Watson? I don't know. Or I think it was Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice? I'm butchering that name. I don't know. Oh no, I think it was Justin Ross. I don't know. Whoever's number 4. Whoever's number 4, they should have kept him in the game. Let's see here. Number is Justin. Okay, it was Rashee Rice. They should have kept him in the game. So yeah, got a little sidetracked there. But one of their tight ends did step up. It was who was it? It was it Noah Gray? Is that his name? He stepped up. Yeah, tight end Noah Gray. He definitely did step up. He had a couple of big plays down the field, but you could really tell the Chiefs were missing Travis Kelce bad. So yeah, Mike Evans. I don't know if this is a discussion, but Mike Evans, Kansas City, you need a wide receiver 1. I wouldn't be surprised if some talks started up. You know, Mike Evans, AJ gave a deadline and said, you know, by September 9th, if we don't hear anything, you know, this is going to be our last year if we can't get a contract. So I wouldn't be surprised if either before the trade deadline or in the offseason, if Mike Evans took his talents to Arrowhead Stadium. That would be pretty interesting to see. But okay, so enough about the Chiefs. So now let's look at the Lions. Jared Goff, in my opinion, outperformed outperformed Patrick Mahomes. 22 of 35, 253 yards with a 64 QBR. Mahomes had a 72 QBR. If you don't know about QBR, just look into it. It's a computer-based stat that goes in and takes account the whole game, what's going on. Anyways, I thought he played phenomenal with his reads, where he was going with the football, and just kind of that pocket presence. I think he did really well. Jared Goff has now gone 359 straight pass attempts without an interception, and I believe he is only behind Tom Brady in NFL history. So it's great to see they've won 8 of their last 10 games. Jared Goff at the helm of that, and is the main reason. I think he's really coming together in this offense and really getting comfortable. You could tell last season and the season before that they just were not what they should have been. Jared Goff still getting used to that system, coming off of a Super Bowl, not a Super Bowl run, but a Super Bowl run, to coming to one of the worst teams in the league and having to be that leader for them. But he's definitely stepped up, definitely done a great job. The Lions' running game, oh my goodness, they rushed for 118 yards. I thought they were phenomenal. Jahmyr Gibbs, he should have gotten the ball more. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. He only got 7 carries. It felt like every time he went in, he rushed for like 8-9 yards, and then they would pull him and put David Montgomery in. Although he did great, 21 carries, 74 yards a carry, 74 yards with 3.5 yards a carry. So they definitely rushed the ball well, getting rid of Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. I know how tough it was for the Lions. I know Dan Campbell really wanted to keep Jamal Williams, but they just couldn't at the end of the day with injuries, and they took a shot in the dark drafting these guys, and it really worked out. So the Lions running game was fantastic, but they couldn't have done it without their front line. I thought their front line was damn near perfect. They were, I think, in my opinion, an offensive line really solidifies you having a good run game. So the reason the Lions rushed the ball for 118 yards on 29 carries, because Jared Goff had 5 carries, but they were kind of, crappy. I'm not going to really include that. So they rushed for 118 yards on 29 carries. I mean, that's all a test to the offensive line. Not all, but most of it attests to the offensive line, because if you don't have anyone blocking and creating gaps and holes and place for you to bounce and make good reads and cuts and jumps, then you can't rush the ball effectively. And I thought they did a great job of really setting the tone, because if you play football, you know that it all starts up front. I mean, it starts with your offensive line. I mean, if you have a crappy offensive line, unless you're Joe Burrow, which we'll get into towards the end of the video, it's hard for you to be a successful quarterback in the NFL. So yeah, that's another thing. Their pass game was really well. I thought Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was going to be kind of the story going into this game for the Lions to be successful, but Josh Reynolds stepped up, and Sam Laporta stepped up. They both stepped up, and it's kind of like, whoa, okay, these guys, the Lions have other weapons, at receiver downfield, which was great to see. So yeah, talked about their pass game, their offensive line. Lions played really well. Their defense, oh my goodness, I thought their defense played fairly well, holding the Chiefs to 20 points. It's not something you see, teams holding the Chiefs to under 20 points. It happens, but not too often. But having C.J. Gardner-Johnson playing safety a couple of times that he's not really used to. He's used to playing corner. So kind of switching up the formations. The Lions got a new defensive coordinator, so it was good to see them run man very little and then just throw out all these different zones for the Chiefs to kind of figure out. So that might have also been a factor into the Chiefs not getting into their groove and really scoring points. They had a ton of offense. They had 226 plus 100. That's 300. Yeah, so the Lions had more yards than the Chiefs, which you don't really see. The Chiefs getting outpaced in their offense. They couldn't really get into their groove as much. So, yeah, Aiden Hutchinson, wow. He played great. I mean, he gave that offensive tackle, I forget his name, something Taylor, it might be, I don't know. But he was making him work every night. And there were a couple of false starts that they should have called, but it finally bit them in the butt on 4th and 20 towards the end of the game. But Aiden Hutchinson played great, I thought, just constantly giving that right tackle pressure and giving Mahomes not enough time to step up in the pocket and really get comfortable. So now let's get into Dan Campbell, excuse me. Man. Okay. What I'll start with is his gutsy play calling, I think, is what I'm going to talk about here. Like, he made some great calls, but he also made some really poor calls that, as a head coach, by now, you would expect him to have those decisions under control. So going forward in the first quarter on your own 20-yard line, a fake punt, it's 4th and 2 and you pick up 3 yards. Extremely gutsy. You get the first down, but man, you just, I don't know if you do that, I mean, it did catch him off guard and it did work, but I mean, I don't know if you do that. I'm going to be honest. The one decision where I kind of was like, what are you doing, was in the 4th quarter. It was 4th and 2. There was 2.5 minutes left and the Lions just ran the ball, and now they're rushing to the line of scrimmage to get a play to snap it. And they're on the Chiefs' 45-yard line, and the Chiefs still have all 4 of their timeouts. And you can hear Chris Collinsworth. He's like, okay, the Lions should just line up here, try and get the Chiefs to jump off sides, then you call a timeout, and you either punt or get the play you want. You take your time, no rushing, none of that. So Dan Campbell's like, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's rush into this thing. And even though we just picked up 2, 3, and 4 yards on 3 straight rushes, we're going to throw the ball on 4th and 2, which I don't understand. I understand going for it on 4th and 2 and wanting to throw the ball. But in that situation, after a 3rd down and you rush your team up to the line, this is Patrick Mahomes that you're going to give the ball back to, You want to take your time. You want to get up there, call them off sides, boom, call a timeout, get your guys a breath of fresh air, let them drink some water, make sure everyone's on the same page. If you're going to go win this game, go win the game right. Don't rush into it. You don't want to, I don't know, you just don't want to rush into it like that. You just want to get your guys, discuss amongst your play callers, offensive coordinators. Okay, what are we gonna call? Let's look at the play sheet here. Okay, we're gonna pick this one. Are we sure? Yes. Okay, let's run that one. Let's take our time. Okay, timeout's over. Let's run back. Send a guy in motion. See if they're in man. Just take your time. And I want to see Dan Campbell's decision making like that get a little bit better, because that's what has won him games but it's also what has lost him a ton of games. Just going for gutsy plays like that when you just need to just stop and just think about it. I love the gutsy play calling because it works, but when it doesn't work, it's a killer. So then after the fourth down, KT comes out and Patrick Mahomes drops him a pass. It was a little bit behind him, I'll give him that, but that would have set up the Chiefs to win the game, and he dropped it. So Dan Campbell got lucky. Nonetheless, the Lions are 1-0, the only undefeated team in the NFL with a win. So it was good to see. I'm excited to watch this team now. You can definitely tell Dan Campbell has improved and really believes in these guys and in Jared Goff. There was some speculation last season when they were losing games, and he was talking about Jared Goff on I'm just worried about now and all this stuff, and kind of brewing some stuff up. But he's really done a good job of getting everyone rallied together and wanting to run through a brick wall for him. So I'm excited to see that. I really am. So yeah, the next thing we are going to talk about here is Joe Burrow and his massive contract. So the Bengals agreed on a deal with Joe Burrow, if you haven't seen it by now. 5 years, $275 million extension that gives him $219 million guaranteed. So that deal makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. I mean, he deserves every single penny that he got. Me personally, I would have liked to see him take a little bit less. Because I know he's an unselfish quarterback. He's not all about, money and all that stuff. I would have liked to see him take a little bit less for his teammates and getting more weapons. If his offensive line goes down, if the defense goes down, sparing some of that money, he can always reconstruct his contract to make it back heavy, to make money for the players now and all that stuff. But I remember when contract negotiations started with Joe Burrow, a report came out of him saying, I want to make sure I leave money for my teammates. So I would have liked to see that, but nonetheless, his rookie year, he came in, tore his ACL and MCL. Next season, takes the worst offensive line in the league to the Super Bowl and loses on one possession. Next season, goes to the AFC Championship again, loses to Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, and then this season, here we are. Once again, I expect nothing less of a divisional round from the Bengals. So, love to see that. I love seeing quarterbacks going to get their money, but me personally, be a little bit more team friendly. But hey, it is what it is. He got his money. Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the NFL. He's that guy. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about here was the NFL schedule and a couple games coming up that I'm excited to watch this Sunday. So one of them, you guys might not, this might be a sleeper for you guys, is Atlanta and Carolina. Carolina at Atlanta. So Bryce Young making his debut and at Atlanta with Desmond Ridder. And one thing that the Falcons have not really been touched on by the media is they have two new corners. I forget their names, but they have two new corners, and they've been making a name for themselves in training camp this offseason. They've been playing great. I've seen great things about them, and I'm just excited for that matchup. That's at 1 p.m. I think I'm going to watch that game and the Cincinnati game, being a Joe Burrow fan myself. So I'm excited to see those games, that one in particular. And then another game that I have open here is, is Cincinnati and the Browns. Now, I know you may be thinking, what the hell, Chris? It's the Browns. Come on. But Deshaun Watson finally getting a full training camp after playing last season, not playing too great. Having those weapons offensively with Amari Cooper, and then having Nick Chubb in the backfield. Obviously, that great offensive line, that good defense. I'm excited to see them. I think this is going to be a sleeper game. I'm really excited and looking forward to watching this game. I drafted Deshaun Watson in one of my fantasy leagues, so aside from that, though, I kind of want to see him do well, with all this stuff off the field aside. I'm a football guy. I love football. I want to watch football. So I'm excited to see him and Joe Burrow go at it. I hope it's a good game. But that's one of the other ones that I'm looking forward to. And Yeah, I honestly don't really have too much to talk about. That was pretty much it. I can look at here at another schedule. Oh my God, I forgot. Buffalo and New York, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Wow, what a game that is going to be. I'm so excited. Aaron Rodgers finally getting a defense. For the fourth time in his career, he's going to have a top 10 defense. All three times he's had that top 10 defense, he made the playoffs all three times, and he won the Super Bowl and went to the NFC Championship game. So when he has a good defense, he wins games. He makes the playoffs. Man, I'm excited for this game. Josh Allen not gonna have Von Miller, and then you have sort of the drama that the media likes to stir up with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. That's not really relevant, but I'm excited, man. Oh my God, the Jets finally have a quarterback. They have they have a Garrett Wilson, who I think is going to take a big leap this season. I think he'll be top 10 in receiving yards. You have Breece Hall coming off a ACL tear as well. You have Dalvin Cook on that team. The only thing that's iffy for them is their offensive line, but their defense with the Quincy, what's his name? I forget his name. Quincy Jets. With the Williams twins, you have them. You have Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner. Wait, did I say that for the Lions? I think I did. I meant to say C.J. Gardner Johnson. Wait, just C.J. Gardner. Wait. Wait. C.J. Gardner. Yeah, C.J. Gardner Johnson. I said that right. And then you have Sauce Gardner. What's his full name? Ahmad Sauce Gardner. Okay, so it's not Johnson. It's just Sauce Gardner. Okay, so you have Sauce Gardner. So I'm just really excited. I think I might have to make me some burgers for that one and just sit back, relax, and just watch some football. So that's going to do it for this first episode of my podcast. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope, if you did stay to the end, thank you very much. Let me know down in the comments kind of what you want to hear, what you liked, what you didn't like. Just let me know. Have at it. Drill me if you need to. But yeah, I'm excited. I love just sitting down here and just talking about football. If anyone is interested and wants to come on as a guest, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. DM me on Instagram or Twitter, and we can get to talking. So yeah, I guess that's going to do it for my first podcast episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you all next video.